Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, give it 110% in Canada.
You always do that, right?
There's no I in team.
No, there isn't. There's no team in I.
Nope.
No. Sometimes there's a team in my eye, like if I'm watching a game or something.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think,
yeah. You know,
yeah.
Like you do, you know, when people are playing the sports ball or whatever.
Sports ball.
Yes.
Yep.
With the balls and the pucks and the other balls. Yep. Or the curling.
Or the curling, yeah.
Yes. The world's greatest sport.
It is. It's very fun, actually.
Yes.
You have to be really sophisticated to learn. It actually is a very complex sport because you have to know exactly how many times to, use the brooms or whatever sticks on the ice in order for it to travel, the exact amount of space that you want to.
Yes.
It reminds me of that episode of Little Mouse on the Prairie where, Rayon wants to form their own curling team for the Moss and call them the Ice Slammers. And they're like, what? The Islamers? No, the Ice Slammers.
Which one was that? Which person?
Rayon, or was it Ryan? I forgot her name. Rayon.
Oh, okay. The girl. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Yeah.
The main parents of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. The one guy who's, the one parent on the show, he's not even like Middle Eastern. He always plays Middle Eastern people a lot.
He always plays like what did he play in Boondock Saints? What nationality did he play in that?
He was in Boondock Saints?
Yeah, he was like the main bad dude, like the crime lord, whatever his name was.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure it was him, yeah.
I may not keep this in the podcast here, but I'm looking it up because I'm curious. The guy that played Yasser, I mean?
Yasser from Little Mouse on the Prairie, yeah.
Carlo Rhoda. He was in Boondocks. I forgot that was him. He was so young.
He's like the main, yeah.
Yeah. He's currently, starring on General Hospital, which is interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Playing a villain on there. So yeah. And I believe he's playing a Hispanic villain on there. Yeah, he was born in the UK, raised in Italy, Hong Kong, the Bahamas, and Canada, and his family is Spanish. It's Spanish, French, Italian. It looks like he's a lot of different things. So yeah, but I don't think he's Middle Eastern at all, but he tends to play Middle Eastern people a lot. Anywho, back to the movie at hand. Bedazzled is what we're covering today. The 2000 remake of the 1967, Peter Cook, Dudley Moore film. This remake was the synopsis here from the Internet Movie Database. First is hopeless dweeb Elliot Richards is granted 7 wishes by the devil to snare Allison, the girl of his dreams, in exchange for his soul. The film was directed by Harold Ramis, who directed Groundhog Day, starred in Ghostbusters, and co-wrote Ghostbusters, wrote Stripes, starred in Stripes. He's, the late great comedic legend, Harold Ramis, who's on SCTV. If you don't know who Harold Ramis is, look him up and thank me later. Yes. It was written by this version was written by Larry Gelbart, who people know for adapting, the TV series MASH for television. He was also written by Peter Tolan who people will know for writing things like Mad About You, Just Like Heaven, Stealing Harvard, Analyze That, America's Sweetheart, Analyze This, The Dave Chappelle Project, Buddies, the Dave Chappelle sitcom, My Fellow Americans, bunch of different things he wrote. Yeah, and it's based on the motion picture story and screenplay by Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, who starred in the original. Yeah. And this film stars Brendan Fraser as Elliot, Elizabeth Hurley as the Devil, Frances O'Connor as Allison, Miriam Shore as Carol, Orlando Jones as Dan, Paul Adelstein as Bob, Toby Huss as Jerry, and a bunch more people. So, yes. Toby Huss, by the way, Toby Huss is such a great actor. That's all I'm going to say. He has small, role in this really, but everything he does, he's just he's a chameleon. So, yeah. He's taking over the voice of Dale Gribble on King of the Hill soon. So yeah. He used to do the voice of Han on there, but they've now recast him with an actual Asian actor as opposed to a white dude. Yeah, which is good. So what are your initial thoughts of this movie?
I thought it was pretty funny. I watched it twice in the same night. That's kind of cool. It was like a nostalgia trip because I think I saw it in the theaters when it came out in 2000. And, it's not like, it's just like it's not like a laugh your ass off type comedy, but, it's, I think, there are some scenes that were kind of like ridiculously funny, but then other ones were just like, it's a movie. It's something that you can enjoy. It's not like on my top 10 or even my top 50, favorites, but it's decent. Well, I mean, come on, I've seen like how many movies at this point? Probably 1,000. I mean, like, if not more.
I'm sure there's more than that. Yeah. It was, I enjoyed it. It's definitely a product of its time. It's definitely a 25-year-old film. You can tell. And, and I watched part of the, 67 version last night, and it's interesting, like, where the humor in the original is a little more subtle, but very British, where this is kind of like in your face American, So it's like,
it's different style of humor. It is.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. It's very cool. I enjoyed it. I remember watching this like when it came out on DVD or VHS or whatever at the time. And, I was probably was I working at Blockbuster at that point? I don't remember, but yeah, I remember renting it at least. So yeah, if not when I was working there, it was when I was renting from somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
So, what goes down in, Bedazzled Town here?
Bedazzled Town.
Speaking of Bedazzled though, do you remember the Bedazzler? It was a thing they had like TV commercials for. It's where you could bedazzle your like jean jacket or other things. You could put like all these little like sequins on your clothing. They were like, it was like a big like infomercial type thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Every time I hear the word bedazzled, it just reminds me of that. So
yeah. Yeah, like a core memory now it just got unlocked. But yeah, so basically what happens is that, what's his name? I forgot his name. Elliot?
Yeah, Elliot's the main character. Yeah.
Elliot plays a, neurodivergent / possibly autistic, man that everyone hates and avoids and excludes from their lives, even though he desperately wants to be their friends, which is a feeling I understand. Anyway, and, so, he's everyone hates him for being nice and wanting to do this. That's the worst thing in the entire world to be like. You're the devil, pun intended, you're the devil incarnate, wanting to have friends and, stuff like that. That's the worst. You can murder people, you can rape them. That's up there. But like the very worst thing you can be is to want to be people's friends. That's like the top sin. Anyway. So he plays that kind of guy. He ends up going to a bar or a restaurant type place because, I guess, I don't know, he just wanted to check it out or something, but then all of his coworkers they were there and they told him that they weren't going to be there or something. So then, at first you think he's going to stand up for himself. Like, I think you guys ditch me. I don't really think you want to sit down with you guys. Of course, he has nobody in his life to care about. And so he's like, yeah, and stuff, making fun of him because he sees this woman that he's really into that it works in the same company as they do because they work at like a call center type place to help people with their printer machine working, I guess. And so they go up there to ask him to kind of, talk to her just to get him out of their sight and also to make fun of him because object himself. And so she ends up leaving or something. I don't remember exactly what. And then, and all of a sudden you see this cue ball roll down the stairs and it goes right between his feet and you hear this like rock music playing in the, what song was it? That bam, ba bam, ba bam, bam.
I don't remember.
Rock song that's stupid, but it was okay, I guess. And so he goes to return it in some really hot playing pool by herself. And then, it's the devil because she's found her mark, some sort of depressed, pathetic individual that, of course, the only way he'd ever be able to get anything in life is by selling his soul to the devil. So perfect person for that type of situation. And again, she's really, really hot. She's like British and shit too.
I mean, it's Elizabeth Hurley from 2000, so she was probably the most beautiful woman in the world at the time. But yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of sexual innuendos going on between that scene where she shoots the cue ball right crotch, stuff like that. And she's like, let's talk business or whatever. And so she's, she drops the ball on him and, that she's the devil. He doesn't really believe her. It's like, oh yeah, how can I prove it to you? He's like, I don't know. There is a funny scene though, I think this is all within the first like 10 minutes of the movie. It's a short movie. It's not, and so this is all within like the first 10, 15. And she's like, okay, well, all you gotta do is make a wish. And so he's like, I wish for a Big Mac and a Diet Coke or something like that. And she's like, done. And they get on the bus, and they take a ride to the nearest McDonald's. They go to there, and she makes him pay because she left her purse to the world. And she's like, you see? He's like, oh yeah, that definitely means you're the devil.
He got a better deal in this than because I watched part of the original. In the original, the guy was asking for like an ice cream on a stick instead of a Big Mac and a Coke. And then he gets it, and the way that they end up transporting from one place to the other afterwards ends up melting the thing, and he doesn't even get to eat it. So
right, why couldn't you just eat it while they're traveling? All right, and then
the way you travel like makes it melt or something. It's just stupid.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh yeah, he's like, and I even had to pay for it. It's like, well, it's what you did wish for or whatever. He's like, come on. He's like, I didn't even get fries. He's like oh, like. You can care about his French fries when you have like the entire world at your fingertips or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he decides to take her up on her offer. They go to some nightclub, a type of place where
but it's actually like her headquarters of hell in Los Angeles or wherever they are, or San Francisco or whatever place they're living. I don't even know where they are. So yeah.
Yeah, it could just be anywhere. I think it is San Francisco though, because I think near the end they see some houses that look like they're on the roads of San Fran. But Fran, wow, so that sounds so cool. San Fran, man. We're going to San Fran today, bro. No, I don't know. And then, and so all these people in the nightclub want to dance with him. They want to have their pictures taken with him. Just trying to love on him. But again, it's another cool thing where people pretend to like you and be your friend. They pretend to be interested in you, and it's really just because they have their own agenda. They don't care about you. So it's another interesting tidbit of how neurodivergent people are often treated in our world. Anyway, and so after that, they go to her office, and she's like, here's the contract. And it's like this big binder that obviously no one's going to read. Just like whenever you sign up for like a social media, nobody's going to read like the 15,000.
I mean, that's why, Mark Zuckerberg owns my soul now. So,
Probably mine too. Yeah. I mean, probably billions of us at this point. Yeah. And so he's like, okay, I guess. And he's like, why my soul? He's like, oh, well, it's no big deal. Like, what do you even think a soul is? He's like, I don't know. It's that thing that like floats above your head. I don't know. He's like, oh, well, there were a dime a dozen. You don't really need them. And he's like, oh, well, how come you want mine so badly? It doesn't make that, and so he decides. I mean,
the devil's just doing her job. She's like got a quota. It's like, you gotta fill so many boxes when you work in a factory. Now it's like, you gotta get so many souls. And
well, that is a very deep philosophical point too, because with a lot of these religions, philosophies, without the devil, there wouldn't be a need for a god. So they do need each other in some weird way.
Yeah.
mean, I don't really believe that, but that's kind of how they're set up. And then, so he agrees to it. And then she's like, okay, make your first wish and blah, blah, blah. He wishes to be, typical rich and powerful, my wife. And she's like, okay, you got it. And then she gives him like this little red pager thing. She's like, okay, just in case if your wish isn't turning out the way that you want it to be, just press 666. Oh, get it?
Yeah.
And they'll come right back to me or whatever. He's like, well, why would the wish not turn out how I want it to be? It's like, well, it's not an exact science or whatever. And so and so he gets sent to Colombia, which is funny because you were saying that you didn't see the subtitles when he's speaking Spanish on your, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, all I got to see was the whole scene in Spanish. I didn't get to read any English subtitles, so I really had no idea what they were saying per se, but I could tell by the actions what they were saying. So yeah, it worked.
Yeah, and so basically what he was saying was that at first he's like, sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but then he starts hearing himself actually speak. He's like, oh, actually I can. So he just starts having like this bizarre conversation with himself, like just saying random stuff like, where's the library? And, oh, Mrs. Swanson, I wish she could see me now. She always said that I could never construct the same, whatever. And like the guy who's like his butler or whatever is kind of like, cool, like, are you okay? Like, type of thing. Yeah. And so he goes out. His wife is in bed with them, I don't think. And then he wakes up and you find out that his wife is actually cheating on him with their quote English tutor Raul, which I'm not sure why she necessarily. Okay. And you get it because he said marry to her. He didn't say that she'd be in love with him.
Yeah.
Technically, the wish wasn't, the devil wasn't tricking him. He just didn't wish correctly. And then turns out that he's also a drug lord, Colombian, very stereotypical Colombian cocaine drug lord.
Yeah. And then the makeup on him and everything I don't know. It just seemed a little bit slightly racist, but anyways, so
2000, 25 years ago, you have a lot of weird shit like that in this movie and also other that are similar. And so they get into a big fight, like a gunfight, because the Russians were buying the cocaine. I guess they didn't like the product and that there wasn't enough of it, something like that. And so they get into this is like early 2000s where every criminal had like a machine gun that sprays like 1,000 bullets all at once.
Yeah.
You don't really see that anymore in those kind of movies.
No, you see that. You see that in the real world at grade schools and high schools.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, a better place to have them instead of like movie set.
Yeah.
Better to have the real deal when, innocents are being killed when they're like in the prime of their life, or actually not even in the prime of their life because they have got into adulthood yet. Anyway, America, gun law is awesome. Freedom. Somehow.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
Freedom, not freedom because martial law, but freedom because guns.
Yes.
Okay. But then also freedom because gun being taken away by the very people who promised gun not taken away. And then blame Democrat, Republican taking away gun. That makes sense.
I mean, my whole theory on it is everybody says we just they believe in freedom, but they didn't really specify it. It's just that they believe in Freedom Williams from the CNC Music Factory. And,
it's true.
Believe he's a real person, which he is. So it's cool. They just want to hear him.
No, you're right. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So he jumps on the helicopter, the landing strip or whatever he's got, landing height, sure you call it. It's not wheels. The helicopters have like a landing something. I don't know what you call it. One of those things. And then he hits the pager and then he shows up like in a pond or something. And then she's waiting for him and he's like, wait, what, why my wish not come true? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, well, she was cheating on me with Raul. She's like, well, you never said that she wanted to be in love with you. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. I can already tell what's going on. So what happens after that?
Yeah, she's going to fuck everything up.
Yep. So what happens? Yeah.
After that, he, is this the one where he wishes to be a NBA player?
Oh shoot. No,
yeah.
Well,
I think it is.
Yeah, it is too, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the NBA player, or maybe it's no. First he wishes to be really sensitive.
Oh, it's sensitive. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
They go to, they sneak into, and nobody can see them though, into Allison's, apartment, into her bedroom and start reading her diary and all this other, invasive bullshit.
Non-consensual. Also, at one point, he was going to take a peek in the shower, so that's invasion of bodily autonomy and stuff like that. Like you do. They can do.
Yeah. Year 2000. In the year 2000. Anyway, so Yes. they they find out that she likes sensitive guys. So he wants to be the most sensitive person in the world. And then he's, in this relationship with her, and they're on this beach, and he's like crying at everything, like the sunset and all this other stuff, and drawing pictures of her and writing songs for her and everything. And then the guys from his work come up and as different characters, I guess. And they're like, these bullies on the beach. They start kicking sand all over him, and he likes eating the sand and shit. And, basically, she ends up going off with one of the guys because, she's just like, I just want some guy to pretend that he's nice and sensitive so he can get into my pants, I'm like, okay.
All type shit. I bet you the guy wrote that line. I'm almost certain of it.
Well,
he got rejected by
the movie was written by Larry Gelbart and Peter Tolan. I'm pretty sure they're dudes. So
that's what I'm saying. It's probably someone like, I got rejected once in high school, so now girls just want to date the bad boys. They don't like nice guys, man. That's why we have to be mean guys and treat them like shit.
To be fair, though, the way the movie ends is counters that. So, yeah. So, anyways, that happens, and then he realizes, wait, I don't want to be sensitive. So then he becomes an NBA player because he wants to be like strong and athletic and stuff. And he's like the world's greatest basketball player since Michael Jordan or something. And he is dumb as hell.
They make him look stupid, like the way he looks. He got this dumb haircut.
It seems culturally appropriation, to kind of a black kind of culture too and stuff. It just didn't seem anyway. So yeah,
I didn't really know that. But that's the other thing too. It's like his personality literally gets changed every time
each time. Yeah,
not like himself. He's also like forced to play like a character, like in his own right, because he. Like with the basketball guy, he becomes stupid, like he says. And so it's like, okay, so that's also a weird part of the. Anyway, so what happens during the basketball scene?
So in this version, a couple of the commentators are Toby Huss and Orlando Jones, and one of the reporters is the other guy, and so they like in each one of these little vignettes, like these guys show up as other characters. And in this version, Allison is a reporter for like ESPN or something, and she's in the locker room, wants to interview Elliot, and she keeps basically through innuendo and other things trying to basically get him to show her his dick.
Yeah, but that's another invasive privacy,
Mm-hmm.
But since she's a woman, it's okay because you're allowed to do that.
Yeah. So she. It's funny. Like I was listening to this podcast about Pete Rose recently, and it was they were talking about when they first allowed women to the locker rooms of sports, women reporters, and that all these guys were upset about it because they're like, well, then we gotta, we can't just walk around naked in the locker room. And my thing thinking about that is why would you want to walk around naked around your other teammates anyways? I mean, is that some kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, it's kind of this very homoerotic, right? They're like, but at the same time, they're like, we're tough men. That's the reason why I want to walk around naked around them. What? It's
so stupid.
Well, no, it is, but it's not at the same time. So, it is, but there is a quote logic to it, which I know it doesn't make any sense, but just hear me out. This is their logic, sports guys. So their logic is, if they could do these things, then it proves that they're not gay because they won't be tempted. And so not to run around naked with other men means that you are gay because you're afraid of being attracted to them. So being naked around. No, I'm not kidding. That's how they think. It's a weird form of what's that?
I said, I'm listening. Yeah.
It's a weird form of logic, but that's kind of how it is with these kind of guys, because it's just it's just a weird, it's kind of I know it's not the exact same thing, but it's kind of like how Gandhi would intentionally sleep in the same bed with underage girls to so he avoid temptation or some weird of why do you need to do that? It's just
That's just fucked up.
It is. But I'm saying, like, why would you even need to do that
Yeah.
to, like, just like, you shouldn't even have the temptation in the first place in order to, like, wean yourself off of it. Or, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, expose yourself. It just, it's odd. Like, but again, obviously the same thing. But, like, it is similar in that, like, I'm gonna intentionally expose myself to something to prove that I'm not that thing. It's whatever. People are, yep. Human nature is awesome, isn't it?
It's weird. It's like if you basically like, oh, I'm going to sleep next to a pile of cocaine just to prove I'm not an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because the idea is if they can resist the temptation, then they've like mastered something over themselves, which I understand the weird logic behind it, but it's still very bizarre.
But most people, and I mean, Gandhi did a lot of good, but also most people don't need to sleep near underage children.
I know.
To prove
they're a
pedophile. I'm just saying.
But I guess, at least from his perspective, at least that was his weird way of like trying to like not be super weird about it. I mean, like, I guess he'd rather him do that than like actually do bad shit. You know what I mean? I mean, I know it's still super bizarre when you think about it. It's just like, I mean, it is kind of like when people go to bars, for example, and don't drink. It's that kind of like they're like trying to like, it's like exposure therapy. They're trying to like be able to be, But
then it leads to the people that are like, oh, Donald Trump was just hanging out with on Jeffrey Epstein's island and stuff on these underage girls to infiltrate him and bring down the thing, because that worked.
To bring it down by never, ever getting his buddy in trouble and then wishing the guy's main accomplice. That's how you infiltrate.
And never releasing the files or anything. But hey, whatever.
You infiltrate a trafficking ring like that. You just witness and watch it, but don't do anything. That's how you're infiltrating. Like, I'm just gathering evidence, bro. Okay, did you ever pass on to you? No, I just kept it for myself. Okay, well then I don't really understand how you're infiltrating anything.
Yeah. But
I was just like waiting to like have like the super evidence, like the total bomb, and I couldn't get to it, so I just had to sit on it. And what do you want me to do? Be like a president? Something like that? I mean, why would I do that? I got martial law to impose, okay? I got other fish to fry, okay? I gotta make sure we kick out all the immigrants and we put martial law in the entire state of California at the time of recording. Who knows at this point? California. By the time the episode's released, California might be a separate country that's been literally excised from the United States of America because, quote unquote, it's too liberal of a state, even though California is almost equally divided between liberal and conservatives, but we never talk about that. We always assume, California is where all these communists live, even though half of the people are conservative, but okay.
Yes.
Anyway, especially the Northern Californians. Anyway, and that's where San Francisco is.
Anyways, when I hear martial law, I just picture Jason Segel and How I Met Your Mother. But,
I was just thinking about that actually. Just him. Well, he was a lawyer. He was trained to be a lawyer. So
yes, and his name was yes.
Yeah.
And it was funny, like when everybody would like try to say something like, oh, Biden's going to implement martial law, like all these people online, and they would always spell Marshall wrong. And they'd spell it like the name Marshall. And, so every time that they would say that, all I would do is post a picture of Jason Segel, and they would look at me like, what's that about? And I'm like, okay, you're an idiot.
I saw someone spell that Marshall. My other favorite is when they spell capital as in like money instead of capital. Like, it don't matter. We're illiterate people here in the net. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on that little thing, but
or we'll get onto the thing where they say you're stupid and they use the wrong your.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. Anyways, back to Bedazzled.
Actually has, back to Bedazzled. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bedazzle this up. And, so what ends up happening is he ends up having a little wee-wee.
Get it? All of his dreams, all of his wishes have some weird consequence to him.
Yeah. So he didn't specifically say, like, this is just like semantics. It's like, it's very pedantic. It's just very like, what you got to get all the minutia of everything correct, or she's gonna fuck with you.
That's her job. She wants.
Yeah. So he's got everything he wants except for he's got a small penis. Yeah. So
super 7'5" or something like that.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's why I'm glad I'm short, because you know what they say about the taller guys? They all have small. Oh wait, no, they don't.
I doubt that's even true, but that's one of those weird mythos type things or whatever. But he also sweats a whole lot too. When they're interviewing him and the cord, he's just dripping, just waters. Yeah.
So then,
what a weird movie.
Yeah. It is a weird movie. So then what happens next?
So he ends up getting really upset about his tiny wee-wee. And then he can't remember which numbers to press into the pager because he's dumb. And so he's got written all over his locker room, and he accidentally hits 999 because that's where he took it off of. And he's like, ugh, and he reverses it. And then he wants to be, he's like, oh shit, well, I tried the athlete thing. You made my dick really small. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. I tried the sensitive guy thing. That didn't work out. I tried the rich and powerful thing. That didn't work out. Now I want to do something really good. Now I want to be the president of the United States.
Yes.
So, of course, she turns him into Abraham Lincoln the night that he goes to the play and gets shot and killed by
John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the night, and he's looking for his pager, and he's like, hold on a sec, and he hits it. He's like, okay, now you can kill me.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up.
Which that was great. Yeah, you want to make sure you hit the buttons first, and then and then he ends up returning. He always ends up returning in a weird place. She always has him in a pond or just a random spot. That's fun. So that's all right. Rich and powerful dude, sensitive guy, athlete, and president. And there's enough to be, right?
Then he wants to be really intelligent and charismatic, handsome.
Yeah.
And so he ends up being this famous author who's really smart and knows a lot about psychology and other things. So he's at this party where he's flirting with Allison, and then then he takes her back to his place, and they're about to imply that they're going to go make love and go into the bedroom, and Toby Huss's character is there as a gay man who happens to be his lover.
And we get some nice early 2000s stereotypical gay shit oh, he's gay, so therefore it must mean he's into show tunes.
Yeah.
Because
they ask him who the cast members of some Broadway musical were, and he can name all of them. And then, and the
also the 1952 version,
plus the, what you call it? What do they call it when they revival? Yeah.
Revive.
Yeah.
72 revival. I wonder if that was a code for anything either. If that was
yeah. I don't even remember what musical it was.
No, it might not even be a real musical. It might just be something they made up for the movie too.
I think it was a real musical, though. It sounded like something I had heard of. So,
that's 5 of the being different people, right? And he gets 7 wishes, right? He gets 7. That's a very important number, 7, right? Because 7, holy number in the Bible. I guess 7's a really
7 deadly sins, 7 days of the week.
7 deadly sins. All that jazz.
Yeah, that wasn't the
7
that they saw.
Yeah. 7's also symbolic though for Christianity. I think Christ is supposed to be something number 7 supposed to have something to do with Christian mysticism basically, but I doubt that's what they were thinking that. Well, I know they might have been because there was a math equation. Oh, that's right. At one point she's teaching a math. She's the hot teacher at the math, the prep school or whatever. And she has this math equation that's almost impossible to solve, but someone finally did solve it. Look back at, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The 90s, the math equation she had written on the blackboard.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Trying to remember. Sorry, I was distracted for a second there. There's a spider crawling on my wall in my office here. And,
oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I can't seem to get it. It's too fast. I was trying to kill it. Anyway, so.
Big spider.
Yeah. There's
I saw
a spider in my room. Yeah.
Here's Spider in my din. It's crawling up there.
Yeah, it's
Casey and his
So yeah, there was I don't remember what the equation was, but yeah, I'm sure it was something.
It's something very difficult that they finally figured out in the 90s. So it took them hours and tons of paper just to do all of the work just to finally get to the correct answer. And so they have that written on the board and says, show your work. Like, okay.
So yeah, it was that scene was kind of funny too, because there was like a pile of, like she was a teacher in the school and there was like a big pile of apples on her desk. So that was kind of a subtle joke there.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Such a weird thing of like giving your teacher an apple, like weird tradition. Like,
yeah.
Like why not any other fruit? Plus, why did you have to give your teacher a piece of fruit anyway? Like, it's just such a bizarre concept. Like, it's just such a weird thing, isn't it? Like maybe because like apple might represent knowledge. Maybe. Oh yeah, duh, because the knowledge of, that's creepy though, because then if the apple's bad,
yeah,
because that's what but then you're giving your teacher an apple so that your teacher can teach you knowledge, but the knowledge is bad because that's what caused the fall of humanity. So then why are you actively trying to do something that's going to hurt your soul? Again, religion makes no sense. It's like,
yeah. So it turns out there's a few theories for why this happens. Okay. Around the origin of bringing an apple for the teacher. The first stems from the biblical story of Adam and Eve. Here, the tree of knowledge, from which Eve eats the forbidden fruit, which is never depicted as an apple, by the way.
No, it's not. It's just fruit.
In the book. Yeah. So therefore the fruit of knowledge is making it a fitting gift for your teacher. Another theory goes back to less formal times in schoolhouse history. On America's western frontier, for example, families whose children attended schools were often responsible for housing and feeding teachers, according to the PBS show Frontier House, and also noted in the Smithsonian. In these small communities, students often helped maintain the schoolhouse as well as even coming in on Saturdays to help clean. In that tradition, bringing an apple for the teacher could be considered a sweet token of appreciation as well as a way to keep her fed. So, yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't want my teachers living with me. I mean, unless she's like really hot or something like that. But even then,
they were responsible for her housing, not that she was living with them.
Oh, okay. Even so, it's still weird.
Well, I mean, if you think about it in other ways, like we are responsible for the housing of teachers, either through our taxes or if you go to a private school through your tuition.
Of course, but now that the schooling's gonna suck and there's gonna be no funding for them, so that's a theory of the past as well. So pretty soon teachers will be like teaching like on street corners, just like with like a trash can as their desk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, today's lesson is America patriotism is good, everything else bad. I have to teach you this, otherwise the man behind me is going to shoot me for being disloyal to our country. Freedom. I'm in a weird mood today.
Freedom.
I'm in a bad mood. Yes.
So, anyways, what else happens here in this movie then? What happens next?
So he goes back to work. His dumb shit job where he fixes people's printers via their computer systems. I love that though too, because in the beginning he shows up and goes to work or whatever, and he's talking to a customer on the phone, and he's like just listing like everything. They're like, "Oh, you got a 26 gigabyte hard drive? That's great." I'm like, "Wow, 26 gigabytes was like seems like awesome." Like,
yeah.
Now my phone has like 100 gigabytes, if not more. You know what I mean? Like.
It's crazy. I remember like even things earlier than that, like from the 90s and stuff, where people were like, "Oh, I've got this many megabytes on my computer," or something. Just like, yeah.
Or like a disc. Like sometimes, like even putting like sometimes you can only put like one song on the floppy disk. To put on your computer, and you would have to like do that all over and over and over again, hoping that you had to rewrite disk, mind you, just to even doing that until you could finally have like an album. It would take you like 15 minutes, like we have it so much better in some ways.
Yeah.
But also let's think the early internet was objectively better for your mental health than it is now, because like websites were actually like cool and fun to visit. And then like people actually made their websites like full of color and life. And it was something that you actually wanted to go to because it was entertaining to you and you wanted to learn whatever it was that particular website had information on. Now it's an obligation. You have to go to a website. You've got to go to this. And it's all gray. This font's the same, robotic. And so all the old internet shit that was, I predict though that we're gonna see, resurgence, cause like, so they say like fads usually come and go like around 25 to 30 years after they happen. So Night Eye would have been 30 fucking years ago, Christ. And then, and so now I think we're gonna see a resurgence of like people intentionally making bad websites on purpose for just because it's like an aesthetic thing, or then like, yeah, I just think it's because like plus two, it's like Twitter, Facebook, all these other things. Like there's so many rules about what you can't say, or you can't, like remember MySpace, you actually were able to like make the background of your page look a certain way, and you could do all kinds of shit. Like you could make it so that music would play.
All of us learned,
what's that?
All of us learned coding back then.
We did. We had no idea that we were like basically being trained like through like really simple things, like, you know, nothing like fancy, but like, yeah, like if you want to do this, you want music to play. Because at one point I had like Hawthorne Heights or some shitty emo band playing, or like at one point I had like a call to prayer, the Islamic prayer that I found from like Turkey. Sometimes I would just have like wave sounds or whatever, just like ocean shit. And anyway, so like this 26 gig, sorry. And so he comes, so just to show again, like how he's treated like shit by everyone in his life. In the beginning of the movie, he shows up on time, kind of jokes with one of the women, like, I don't know about you, but the rest of us start at 9. And she just kind of gives him the finger, like, really, dude? But then when he shows up late, his boss is waiting for him to condemn him, you know, for being late, even though he's there like every other day. But the one day his boss cares about it, then that's the guy he's gonna like berate for being late. So there's that little thing. And then he gets on the computer, and then the devil, played by Elizabeth Hurley, is on the screen, and he's having a full-on argument with a blank screen as far as everyone else is concerned. And she's like, no, you gotta do your last wish. He's like, no, I got 2 wishes left. I don't want them. He's like, no, you got 1 wish. He's like, no. And so he lists down, he's like, yeah, and you wished for the Big Mac and Coke. And he's like, God damn it, you stupid devil, you know. And because technically that was a wish, even though he paid for it. Even though they just took regular transportation to get to it via bus, technically he wished, and so that counts as 1 wish. So he only got 6 cool wishes, and even then they were stupid. And shit, what else happened? Oh, yeah, he refuses to make a wish, and then she like makes him basically by like scaring.
She tries to make him, but basically he ends up going to jail. Why did he go to jail? I can't remember.
Oh. But he went to jail at first because he wouldn't. Yeah, okay. So he went to jail because he wouldn't make a wish, and so she was basically like you're just gonna sit in the cell until you finally make a wish, like because you really need to do it or whatever.
Yeah, but why did they?
And then of course,
but why did they arrest him? There was some reason that they arrested him. I think.
I don't remember why they arrested him. Actually, I don't. He was something. I don't know what it was. And, she was played like a cop. You know, she's the one that put him in his cell. And of course, 2000, I need to remind you, 25 years ago, we have our magical black person moment. Of course, the prisoner. Because why wouldn't you be a black person, not be a prisoner?
At first she did teleport him to hell, at one point. And,
I think that was
towards the end, actually. Yeah,
that was jail cell scene.
Yeah. That was after the cell scene. Yeah. So she pushes him to make the final wish. And yeah, that's after the cell scene, because he ends up talking to this dude in the cell who may or may not be God. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but,
yeah. And
you gotta love the black person as like a mystical being, or in this case, possibly God, or like some kind of like,
oh yeah,
magic spell guy, you know, witch or whatever,
the
wizard,
the magical N-word, as Spike Lee would call it.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I said magical black person. Yeah. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, but that's what I didn't want to say. That's what Spike Lee would refer to them as. And he primarily, like, the one movie that he really hated was The Legend of Bagger Vance, and Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bizarre.
It's like character, or like Charles S. Dutton's character in Rudy, which wasn't a real person that they just made up for the movie. Rudy is like so fake bullshit, that movie. It's a great movie.
Is it? It's not even.
It's a great movie, but his true story, like if you ask anybody that was on that team that year, like almost none of that happened the way it was supposed to be, and they made up the whole story. He did play like that, and he was kind of an underdog, but it wasn't as much as they say, and there was different things, and he wasn't like, you know, as much of a wimp as they say, and all these different things. And I met the real Rudy, and even if because he came and spoke at my high school when I was in high school. And then I read years later he was like a car salesman, and I guess he was a complete asshole. But anywho.
But yeah, the magical black. Well, I think it's like weirdly racist, like in its own bizarre, different way. Because like before that, it was like black people were always like the butt end of a joke, or they were just like portrayed as being like stupid. But then it like changed to like every black person now is a god or a wizard. It's like could they just be like people? Like,
it's the same thing they often did with native people as well. Like
and it's like yeah, exactly. But it's just like I noticed like the commercials and stuff. There was like a period where it was almost like punishable by death to like have a black person be like the stupid person in the commercial. Like they always like almost like they could like the white person had to be the dumb. It's like okay, like a black person can be stupid, like because they're people. Like it doesn't have to be like either. Every movie they're in, they're either portrayed as a slave or dumb to then they're gods or like, you know what I mean? It's like, just let them be people. Like they're allowed to be like anyone else. Like you don't have to like go from one extreme to the other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think people are strange. Like,
but anyways, he gives them good advice. The cellmate does, it's basically like, he refers to him as simply a good friend instead, when he asks who he is. So,
right.
He tells him, he gives him basically a friendly reminder that you can't sell your soul because it belongs to God. It doesn't belong to you. So, yeah.
So then basically he gets all the wishes for free then. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
basically what ends up happening after that then is, he's forced to make his final wish after he's like transported to hell and everything. And then he ends up wishing, he says, I just wish that Allison could have a happy life with or without him.
Oh, isn't that so nice?
Yeah.
Cute. Idiot.
So the devil sighs and then he wakes up on a marble staircase and he's wondering if he's in heaven. And the devil tells him that a provision in his contract's fine print states that a selfless wish voids the contract.
Ooh, bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And then, so basically then, Elliot admits that despite the manipulation and all that bullshit, that he actually has come to like the devil in regards to his only friend.
Yeah. I mean, I guess again, that's tantamount to what I was saying earlier. It's like you're neurodivergent. Nobody likes you. And so your only friend's going to be the devil because fuck it. Why not? That's the one person who pays attention to you. And yeah, they manipulate you and like, trick you and make fun of you at your expense because you don't understand certain social cues. But at the end of the day, at least they sort of like you, so yay! I'm sorry. I'm in a not so great mood today for various reasons. But anyway, so this movie is strange though, because if you think about it, it's very creepy because he's been working with this Allison for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's never spoken to her once, but he knows a creepily amount of stuff about her, like how she likes to eat her salads or what she likes in her food or whatever. And it's like, okay. And it's like, I just wish Allison would have a happy life. It's like the woman that you've never spoken to one time and you don't know anything really about.
It's the whole thing. Like, Patty Rothberg had a song called Perfect Stranger back in the 90s, which, she was basically talking about like how, she was afraid to talk to this person because as long as, they were a stranger, they remained perfect.
Right. Okay.
So
it is kind of,
it's the idea that, you, from a distance, you love somebody and then, nothing can go wrong because once you meet somebody, you might find out, oh, wait, they don't like the same type of music as me or they, are a member of the KKK or whatever. Or somewhere in the middle of that,
Yeah. It's just so bizarre because very incel vibes coming from this character. A little bit. That may, well, not necessarily. Okay. Incel in the first meaning of the word, because like, I know it's kind of funny. The whole incel website was created by a Canadian woman.
Yeah.
And it had to do with politics in its origin. Like there was a website and people would just tell their stories. They either would write on like the forum on the blog or whatever, or they might upload like a video and telling their stories. And it was like a mix of both men and women, just like, expressing your frustrations of like, they can't find a romantic partner for whatever reason and wish they could. but it had nothing to do with like right-wing politics or any kind of like resentment towards women. It was just like, yeah, it's like, that's a human experience that most people, at least at some point in their life, get to have. And if you don't have it, then yeah, you start feeling a little frustrated. Like, well, what's wrong with me? But like, it wasn't like, I'm going to start shooting women now at college campus. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
yeah.
And so maybe original incel, like OG incel, maybe that's what he was. Elliot, our friend Elliot, our boy Elliot. And what happens at the very end? Please tell me. I want you to finish this up.
So basically, he goes back to work and he does talk to Allison and basically say that he's admired her and wants to get to know her, and asks her out, but discovers she's already dating another man. So he knows all this stuff, but he doesn't know that she's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, wait, what? Unless this was like a new timeline that the devil set up for him.
Yeah, he ends up like, continuing with his life, fine. He takes it in stride, which is cool. Then he's confronted by Bob, one of his coworkers, who ridicules him at the encouragement of his coworkers. And then Elliot grabs the terrified Bob by the shirt, but lets go, simply saying, "Nice talking to you." And then he ends up riding his bike home, and he meets his new neighbor, who looks a lot like Allison, except for she's got dark hair. She's a lady named Nicole, and but her personality and stuff are more like closer to his. He offers to help her unpack her, her stuff because she's moving in next door. And then towards the end, the two are taking a walk, and then the devil and Elliot's cellmate are both there, and the cellmate's dressed in white, and they're playing chess.
Hey.
Yeah, and that's our end.
Oh, she tries it cheap, but then he sees.
Yeah.
Yay! That's the movie Bedazzled 2000 remake.
Uh-huh.
Can I tell you something really quick? Can I tell you something that's really hilarious?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so like I said before, I saw this movie when it came out, 2000 or whatever. I've had several dreams since 2002, maybe, where I am in the movie theater and I'm about to see Bedazzled I have no idea. Like I said, this is not my favorite movie or anything like that. But for some reason, this particular movie makes it into my dreams multiple times over the past 23 years. And it's always something goes wrong though in the dream. Like either the person I'm meeting doesn't show up, or like the popcorn machine breaks, or I just feel like really like unease, like being in the movie theater. Like I don't want to be here. Like I just feel like this is not the place to be. And it's just like, why? I think at one point I was even supposed to meet Brendan Fraser at the theater to watch it with him. And then I became late or something. And he got really, really mad at me. It's just like, anyway, that's my dreamscape world that I just share with you all.
Yes.
Hopefully you won't report me to like a psychiatrist or something. Have me, on a new medication I don't want to be on.
Well, the podcast psychiatrists are going to be coming after you now, and maybe they'll offer you like a free subscription to like BetterHelp or something. Now, anyway, so
yeah, BetterHelp, where they like steal all of your data, and all these fucking YouTubers still use that fully knowing that it's terrible, but then they just pretend like it's fine. And then like Ted Nivison, for example, I love that guy, but he does BetterHelp shit.
There
it's
tons of podcasters I respect that advertise for them that I know that they shouldn't, and they also, it's owned by Zionists as well. But anyways, so the
it's just, I mean, I get it. You want money, but do you want money that badly?
Yeah,
that you're gonna willing to sell your soul for a few bucks. I mean, it must be paying them a lot. Because again, it's like everybody knows it's not like a new thing like where it was at first, where like you didn't know, but like this story's been out for like over 10 years at this point. And for a while, they weren't doing BetterHelp, but then they went back into it. So I was like, wait, so you stopped for a while, but now you just thought people would forget maybe. So then you went back into it. Like,
or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it got better. I don't know. Maybe they stopped sharing stuff. I don't know what is up. But anyways, that's neither here nor there because we're probably not sponsored by them. I really can't control who sponsors our podcast. But it's a different thing. Yeah. I can control what doesn't sponsor us, but I can't control who does sponsor us, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I specifically, like, I think, put it down that I didn't want, like, politicians or some other stuff sponsoring us because I didn't want us to be sponsored by any politicians. Anyways.
Right.
So anyways, that's all I got to say about this podcast, about this movie. I mean, on this episode of this podcast. So, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Just don't make deals with the devil, except if it's 2000 Elizabeth Hurley because she's really hot. Then it's okay. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, or current day Elizabeth Hurley for that matter. Anyway,
I mean, I haven't seen her in the movies since then. Like I remember specifically. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this movie now because of the hot British actress. You know, and I was like 16 when I saw her. She's having all kinds of feet.
She's still acting.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's most recently in a movie called Strictly Confidential in 2024, and yeah, she's been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of it's like made for TV movies and other things too. So yeah, she's still got it going. And she's still hot. Anyway, so the not to judge somebody by their looks, but anyways, folks, just check out all2reeltoo.com for any information about our show. We have links to all of our social media there. We have links to our Patreon and our TeePublic there. Those are good ways to help support the show. Also, spread the word, subscribe, give us a 5-star review wherever you can. Share the show with your friends. Comment below on anywhere that you can comment. You know, that helps the algorithms. The algorithm. And, you know, because he needs some rhythm. Anyway, so
he does.
Yes. He's always offbeat. It's kind of weird. But, yeah. So, but just remember, folks, you know, that we love you here and you can do good, you know, by listening to us. And that's a good thing to do. It's better than, you know, selling your soul to the devil. Remember that, free Palestine. Trans lives are human lives. No human is illegal. You know, fuck the oligarchy, the patriarchy, the, what is that? Kiktocracy.
Oh,
yeah.
Cockocracy. I don't know. It's a weird word.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck Donald Trump. And just remember that I love you.
Yeah.
Don't sell your soul to the devil. Sesame loves you.
I do.
Be different. Be yourself. And until next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.